We did notice yesterday that there's some finches missing, and I've been having a bit of a look. I thought maybe that tree snake had got in and eaten them. I don't know. Have you seen the photos of the tree snake? You're not supposed to mess with snakes, but I have found if you give them a little pat, they usually bugger off. This one seems to have hung around because we seen him a few days later. I was a bit worried that he'd got in and eaten them, and I'm not saying he didn't get in and eat one, but I have managed to find a couple that have died in there now. Finches will die of fright, unfortunately, but it's impossible to know what's happened to these guys. I found 2 of them in the cage that I'm going to have to get out that didn't get eaten. Whether it was something, a bird of prey landed on the wire and just scared them and they all had heart attacks and died, except for these 2. I don't know, but we're going to have to get in and get these other 2 that have sadly died out. So there's one there, just between those branches. You can sort of see a little bit of purple. That's one there. And these birds do have a pond, I've seen. One's down in the water, just behind those logs. So if I can't find the 3rd one, it would lead me to believe that a snake's got in there and potentially eaten one of them and scared the other 2 to death. But also, a snake's probably going to struggle to get out of this wire if it's eaten one of those. So either there's a snake in this cage that I haven't been able to find yet, or they've died of fright. What you got there?
Red.
You gonna put her away? You fill their water up too. Oh, there's a heap in there. Look.
Yeah.
Put her down. We'll give you some grain, eh? Put her down on the ground. That's enough. I'll follow you. Get out of there, you. Take it over and tip it in their house.
Stop.
Come on. No, you want them to follow you. They just want the food. Tip it in the feed chute. We'll tip it in there. Right in. Tip, tip. No, inside the door. Where are you going? Hangs out. Righto, we've got the tractor back. I'm actually going to move the Jap quails into here for a few days while I clean out their pen. They might end up back in theirs over the weekend, we'll see, but I'm going to get that all cleaned out, chuck the guys in here on some grass. I've just chucked some cardboard in their house there, so I'm a bit worried that rodents or rats might get up and eat their feed. I've seen that online and that's not something we want. We've lost heaps of quails to rats around here. There's a bit of a problem in town and they're pretty hard to get a hold of, so we've done that, give them a little somewhere to hide and sleep. Might chuck a bit of hay in there for them, but we'll get them out on the grass and give them a feed. I do like being out. Sometimes I let them free range, but I'm a bit worried that they're going to fly away, so we'll get the Japs out and we'll chuck them in there. What are you doing all the way up there? Hey? Who's coming out first? It's okay. One down, 4 to go. What do you think, mate? They are not your dinner. Hey? Yes. You're a big tough boy. I hear you. Let me get that string out of there for you. This pen definitely needs a good clean out. Give all their toys and branches and stuff they climb all over a wash off and get some fresh hay and a bit of dirt in here for them to have dust baths. Those water's a good scrub, and set up some nesting areas because these aren't the best places to lay eggs. They sort of just lay them anywhere. They don't have much maternal instinct, these birds. I wish they did, but no eggs up the top. No eggs in there. They just lay them wherever they are when they're ready to lay an egg. Gee, they make a mess in a short time. Oh, I'm gonna get these eggs in the incubator because they're only a couple of days old. Because I check them every couple of days, give them a good look over, make sure the birds are doing fine, and if they've got any of these things, we chuck them in here. Here's a little project I've been wanting to try for a while. Save a bit of money on chicken feed. I've seen this done on Instagram and TikTok, and we're going to give it a crack. So the idea is you ferment your grain. So you got to get a container that rodents and pests aren't going to get into. So I've got these clip lock containers. These ones are for cereal, cheap enough from Kmart, about $6 each, something like that. So we're going to fill these up with grain and a bit of water, and I think the idea is you leave them for about 3 days, and the grain ferments and swells and unlocks a bit more nutrients for your chickens, and they eat less, which I could definitely use since the wife still hasn't got rid of any of these chickens. So give that a crack. We'll fill all 3 of these up with grain, and we'll just start tipping them in 1 day at a time until we get to the 3rd day. So actually we better number these, and then every time we tip one in, we fill it up with a bit of grain and a bit of water, and then 3 days later it'll end up in back down the line. So let's get these bits of cardboard out of them and get some water in them. Right, so the birds at the moment are eating about 2 kilos of grain a day. A lot, I know. So I filled these up. These are 4 litre containers to about that 2 litres, 2 kilos mark is going to be. And we'll probably put about another 2 litres of water in. Fill them up about 3/4, I guess. I don't know, I'm just winging this. Let's get some water in them and get them tucked away somewhere. We'll see how they go in a couple of days. Alright, I am just going to leave these out here for now so we can keep a bit of an eye on the process, but eventually we'll put a rack up near the chicken pen for these to sit on. Also, I've heard about using fodder, so we might give that a crack in the future. But for now, let's see how fermenting grain works.